You do not have a money problem. You have a clarity problem. And these two things are not the same at all. Research shows people who check their balance before spending spend 23% less. Same income, same bills, same life. One thing changed: clarity. But nobody ever taught you this. Not school, not your parents. So you kept believing the answer was earn more. It is not. The answer is see clearly first, then act. Here is what I discovered by accident. For 30 days, I tracked every single dollar, not just big expenses, every coffee, every snack, every subscription, every impulse buy late at night. Week 1 felt like a waste of time. Week 2 felt strange. Week 3 made me genuinely angry because the numbers started forming patterns I had been ignoring for years. And once you truly see them, you can never unsee them again. That is what clarity does. It makes the invisible visible. We all grew up believing the same lie. Just earn more money and everything will fix itself. So you worked harder, you switched jobs, you got promoted, you got that raise you wanted, and for a brief moment it felt amazing. But then something predictable happened. Your spending grew at the exact same speed as your income. The gap between earning and keeping never widened. You just had a bigger number on your paycheck and the exact same emptiness when the month ended. That is not an income problem. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Your income is not your problem. Your awareness is. I know a guy who makes 6 figures. Every month the money arrives, and every month it vanishes. He genuinely has no idea where it goes. Not because he is unintelligent, because he has never actually looked. Then I know a woman who earns half his salary, but she tracks every single dollar. Every dollar has a specific job. Her savings grow every single month without fail. Same economy, same inflation rate, different awareness. The difference is not income, it is clarity. So I designed a simple experiment for myself. 30 days, track every single dollar. 0 exceptions. Write down the coffee, the snack, the forgotten subscription, the late night impulse purchase from my phone. Day 1 felt completely pointless. Writing down a $2 coffee seemed ridiculous. Day 7, something shifted in my brain. Day 14, I became deeply uncomfortable. Day 21, I got genuinely furious because the data was telling me a story I had spent years avoiding. First thing I discovered was weekend spending. 40% of my total monthly expenses gone in just 2 days, every single weekend. Then I found the subscription trap. Streaming platforms, apps I never opened, a gym membership I had not used in 7 months. Small monthly charges added up to $37. That is $444 per year for services I had completely forgotten about. And then the most painful category, impulse buying. Every purchase made after 10 at night. 70% of those purchases I regretted within 2 days, but the money was already gone forever. Here is what hurt the most about this experiment. Before I started tracking, I genuinely thought these were small expenses. The weekend spending was just enjoying my life. The subscriptions were just a few dollars each. The late night purchases were just treating myself. But when I added everything up, they were not small at all. They were the exact reason I felt stuck financially, not my income level, not the economy, not my job. These invisible leaks I had refused to look at directly. The problem was never how much I earned. The problem was where it was all going, and I had no idea until I looked. That is what tracking does. It does not restrict you. It does not punish you. It just shows you the truth, and the truth, once you see it, is impossible to ignore. You cannot fix what you do not see. Most people never fix their finances because they never actually look at them. They guess, they hope, they avoid, and nothing changes. Everyone talks about discipline constantly. Force yourself to wake up early. Force yourself to say no. Force yourself to follow a strict budget. And discipline works temporarily. Then it fails spectacularly. Because discipline is just a muscle. It gets exhausted. It needs rest to recover. And on the day you feel stressed or exhausted or sad, discipline will abandon you completely. But clarity will never abandon you. When you see exactly where your money goes, you do not need willpower to stop spending. The spending behavior changes automatically because now you genuinely understand the cost. Let me give you a concrete example. You are walking past a coffee shop. You smell the fresh coffee. You want it badly. Discipline says no, 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 no. You argue with yourself internally. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Clarity says something completely different. Clarity says, I know exactly how much I spent on coffee last month. I remember the number. I remember writing it down. I remember the feeling of seeing that total. And suddenly the coffee does not look the same. You still genuinely want it, but now you want your future savings more. That is not a fight. That is a decision already made. That is the fundamental shift. Discipline means fighting yourself every single day forever. Clarity means seeing the truth one time and letting the truth guide your behavior naturally. Most personal finance advice focuses entirely on discipline. Create a budget, cut this expense, say no to yourself, but almost nobody discusses the essential first step. Look at your money first. Just look at it. No judgment, no shame, no guilt, just raw data. Because once the real data is sitting in front of you, behavior change stops being a constant battle. It becomes a natural response to reality. Now, here is the uncomfortable reality nobody discusses. The entire financial system wants you to stay blind. Banks want you blind to your spending patterns. Credit card companies want you blind to interest calculations. Every shopping app with a buy now button wants you blind. Because a blind customer is a profitable customer. One-click checkout was not designed for your convenience. Auto-renew subscriptions were not designed for your convenience. Minimum payment options were not designed for your convenience. These features were designed for one purpose only, to keep you from looking at what is actually happening. Think about this question honestly. When was the last time your bank sent you a notification that said you spent more money than usual this month? The answer is never. Not once. It will never happen. Banks send you endless notifications about new credit cards, higher credit limits, special limited time loan offers, but never a single notification about your spending patterns. Never a single warning about your financial leaks. The whereon abbiamo directly costs them money. A customer who actively tracks their spending pays less interest, pays fewer penalty fees, carries less long-term debt. And that customer is not profitable enough. So what do you actually do with this information? You stop waiting for the system to help you. The system will never teach you to see clearly. That is not its job. Its job is generating profit from you. Your job is protecting yourself from exploitation, and protection begins with one single action. Look at your money directly, not once per year during tax season, not when you feel financially stressed. Consistently, every single day or every week. Because looking at your money is completely free, and looking at your money changes everything. Here is the most important thing. I want you to remember, you were never the problem. Your income was never the problem. The problem was always the gap between what you were actually spending and what you thought you were spending. That gap has a name. It is called clarity. And clarity is the cheapest resource in the world. It costs exactly $0 to obtain. It just costs your willingness to stop avoiding the numbers. For 30 days, write down every single dollar, not to restrict or punish yourself, just to finally see the truth clearly. The education system took 15,000 hours of your life. It taught you algebra and mitochondria and the water cycle. It never once taught you how money actually works, but you can learn this yourself in 30 days. 30 days of honest looking, 30 days of writing things down, 30 days of refusing to look away. That tiny window of time is the gap between struggling financially forever and finally taking control. And that journey starts today, not tomorrow, not when you earn more money, not when you feel ready. Today, right now, open a notebook, write down what you spent today. That is the only first step that matters. If this video changed how you see your own money, please subscribe to this channel. This channel does not teach you how to get rich quickly. It teaches you what the education system never did, how money actually works in the real world. How to see your finances clearly. How to take control permanently. The first step was watching this video. The next step is subscribing below, then opening that notebook. I will see you in the next video.